Hi everyone. So today we'll be discussing on the topic Grundy numbers, right? Just give me a second here. So yeah, let's get into the definition part. So the Grundy number algorithm, it's completely based on the Sprague-Grundy theorem. So next we'll be discussing the last one will be Sprague-Grundy theorem itself, right? So now let's see what is Grundy number algorithm. So the Grundy number algorithm assigns a non-negative integer, nothing but the Grundy value to every position of an imperial game, right? Sorry, impartial game, not the imperial game. Sorry. So the Grundy number algorithm assigns a non-negative integer, right? It should be a non-negative integer, nothing but positive integer. Grundy value to every position of an impartial game. Each position's Grundy number equals the mix. MEX. MEX is nothing but minimum excluded value of all reachable positions. If the Grundy number is 0, then it's similar to it is equivalent to losing position, otherwise winning position. Grundy number should not be 0 actually. Yep, it should be greater than 0. So otherwise we get the winning position. Yep, so this is fine. Now let's move on to the algorithm explanation part. So for every game state, if no moves are possible, then Grundy is equal to 0, nothing but losing position. Yep, for every game state, if no moves are possible, then Grundy is equivalent to 0. Recursively, we will compute Grundy of all the reachable states. What we'll do, recursively we'll be computing the Grundy of all the reachable states, collect those values, compute MEX, nothing but this one, minimum excluded value. Yep, collect those values, compute the minimum excluded value of all of collected values. The max minimum excluded state, this one, minimum excluded value is the Grundy number of the current state, right? So for the multiple piles, what we'll be doing for the multiple piles, so we will be going with the XOR, right? So we'll be doing XOR all Grundy values. So let's try the same thing. Let's try to implement or this one articulate the same thing in the form of code. If you didn't get anything or if you didn't get certain things, it's fine. So we'll be articulating the same thing in the form of code, and we will try run by considering the example. So I assure that at the end of the video, you'll understand everything. Now let's move on with the further things. Within the main method, what we'll be doing, let's do one thing. One second. Yeah, within the main method, first thing, similar to the catalan numbers, we'll be making use of the DP for the Grundy numbers as well. Yep. So first thing, let's go with a DP. I'll just go with static int DP. So this is fine. And let me go with one more. This is enough, I believe. Yeah, let's continue with the further things actually. Let's go with a method MEX, nothing but minimum excluded value. Yep, I'll just go with a static here, int MEX, minimum excluded value. So I'll just need one parameter, nothing but set. So we'll be going with a hash set actually. Yep, in simple terms. So I'll just go with a hash set. This one will be making use of the integer. So let me pass the integer. Let me give the variable. Let me make use of the variable set. Yep. So within the mix method, actually, I'll just initialize mix to 0. Nothing but we are starting. Yeah, we are starting the checking from 0. Then if the mix already present in the set, then we have to increase mix and return the smallest missing value, right? So for that, I'll just go with a while, or let me go with one. Let me do one thing. Yeah, I'll just go with the while condition here. So I'll just go with set dot contains of what? Contains of mix. So this is fine. Mm, I'll just increment the mix and also let's return the mix. Yep. So this is fine. Let me come out of this one entirely. Now let's write the function to compute the Grundy number for n stones. Yep. So let's do that. Let me go with static int. So let me go with a Grundy here. I'll just go with a parameter n. So within the Grundy, this one method, first thing, let's go with a base case, nothing but when we have no stones, right? So at that point, we are at the losing position. Means when n equals 0, in that case, we have to return 0. We have already discussed this one during the algorithm explanation. So I'll just go with when when n equals 0, let me return 0. So this is fine. Next, if already computed, then we have to return the stored value, right? So I'll just write here, if dp of n, if it is not equal to -1, in that case we have to return dp of n. Yep, as I've said, if already computed, then we have to return the stored value. Now we have to store the reachable state. For that we are going with a hash set. So let me make use of the hash set here, right? Hash set. So we are going with the integer. This will be of the type integer. Within the angle brackets, I've mentioned integer. Let me go with a variable set, variable name set, and let me complete the syntax here, right? So this is fine. Next, we have to remove one stone initially, then we have to remove two stones, and then we have to store the mix or minimum excluded value result. These three things we have to do. First, for removing one stone, I can just write it on this way. If n is greater than or equal to 1, I'll just go with set dot add. So let me call the Grundy function here. Yep, we are just recursing here, right? So within the Grundy method itself. Yep, so I'll just go with Grundy of n minus 1. So this is fine, I believe. Next, if n is greater than or equal to 2, let me go with set dot add. So let me pass the variable currently here. So this will be n minus 2. Yeah, this is fine. Finally, let's store the max result. I'll just go with return dp of n equals, let me pass the max actually. Let me pass the max, not max actually, mix we have considered, right? So this one, minimum excluded value. So mix of, let me go with, we have to pass the set itself, right? Yeah, this is fine. So this is it for the, what do we call, Grundy method. So let me format the code so that the code looks good. Yep, so now we are done with this part. So this is it for the algorithm. Just have a look into it. You can just pause the video and have a look into it. So this is fine. Yep. Let's move on with the further things. Within the main method, we'll be considering the example for the demonstration purpose. So first, let me copy paste this one, buffer data as well as the print data that's required for the input output part. And then let's do one thing. We can go with a very simple example. Just give me a second here. So let's continue with the further things. So I'll just type instead of this one. We don't need this one buffered reader. I'll just go with a print writer out equals new. So let me go with a print writer. Yeah, I'll just go with a system dot out. So this is fine, I believe. Next, what shall I do? So let's go with the example directly. So let me go with n equals 4. N, let me consider 4. And let's consider the DP array, or let's create the DP array and mark all as this one, uncomputed. First, let's create the DP array. DP equals new int of, let me go with n plus 1. So this is fair. And let's mark all as uncomputed. So for that, I'll just go with a arrays dot fill. Let me go with dp as well as -1. Yep, so this is fine, man. Now let's compute the Grundy number. For computing the Grundy number, I'll just go with a result equals Grundy of n. Yep, so this is fine. Next, let me go with the out.println. So I'll just go with the out.println. So let me go with Grundy number here within the string so that this looks good. So let me append the result. Yep, so this is fine. Suppose if the result is equivalent to 0, then we are at the losing position. Let's print that. And else, if it is not, if the result is not equivalent to 0, then we are at the winning position according to the algo. So let's write the simple if conditions for that. I'll just go with if we have considered this result variable as result itself. So if result equals 0, in that case, let's print as we have went with a print writer. So I'll just go with the out.println directly. Yep, so I'll just go with, or let me mention losing position here, right? So else, what we'll do, else, let me go with out.println. So let me print here winning this one position, winning position. Yeah, this is fine. Finally, what we'll be doing, so let me give out.flash, out.flash. Yeah, so this is fine. Have successfully formatted the code so that the code looks good. Now I don't see any typo or the errors. Let's do one thing. Before running the code, let's dry run the code so that we get to know whatever the code that we have written is correct or not. And we get to know the output for the example that we have considered within the code or within the main method. Yep. So, and later we can come back here. Sorry. And later we can come back here and run the code that we have written. Let's dry run the code first. Let's do that. So let's move on with the dry run part. Yeah. So just give me a second here. Yeah. So input n we have considered 4 within the code. The same example that we are going with here, right? So accordingly with the code that we have written, just give me a second here. 1 second. Yeah. Accordingly with the code that we have written, first we'll be going with a, first we have started here. So let's go with a, let's do one thing. Let's go with the call stack evaluation itself. 1 second. Yeah. G4. So this one, Grundy of 4, whatever we have written as n equals 4, we have to go with a G of 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So we are going with a call stack evaluation, right? First, G of 4 needs two things, nothing but G of 3 as well as G of 2 respectively. Yep. So G of 4 needs G of 3 and G of 2, and G of 3 needs the previous this one, two things, G of 2 as well as G of 1 respectively, and G of 2 needs G of 1 and G of 0 respectively, right? So G of 1 and G of 0 respectively, and G of 1 needs only G of 0. Yeah, needs G of 0, and G of 0 initially is 0. G of 0 is initially 0. Now let's backtrack. Yeah, let's backtrack. So G of 1 is nothing but the mix of 0. Minimum excluded value. Minimum excluded value of 0 is nothing but 1. G of 1. Yep. So G of 1 we are going with a this one, right? So minimum excluded value is 1. Of 0 is nothing but 1. G of 2 is nothing but minimum excluded value of 1 comma 0 that leads to 2. Yeah, that leads to 2. Again, G of 3 will be going with a mix of 2 comma 1. So this one and this one. This one we have already considered. 2 comma 1, 2 comma 1. So this leads to 0. And G of 4 nothing but minimum excluded value of 0 comma 2. 0 comma 2 is nothing but again 1. So we are considering 0 comma 2. So this one. Yep. So this one will be 1 itself, right? So final answer is nothing but G of 4 we have got this one, G of 4 nothing but mix of 0 comma 2 we have got 1. So this one we will be outputting this one as a result actually. Now we are at the winning position because if the value is not 0 and if it is greater than 0, then we are at the winning position according to the algo, right? So final answer is 1. We are at the winning position. Yep. So this is it for the dry run. This is it for the dry run. So yeah, we have written the, we have discussed the algorithm. Now we have written the coding part as well. We have written the, yeah, we have written the coding part as well. Then we have dry run by considering the same example within the code. Yep. So now we are left with only two things, nothing but discussing the, I mean, we have to run the code that we have written. If everything goes well and if we get the desired output, then we have to discuss the complexities for the code that we have written. First, let's do one thing. Let's run the code that we have written. Let's do that one quickly. Just give me a second here. Yeah. So I'll just come to the coding part here. Let me run the code. So I can clearly see here Grundy number equals 1 and we are at the winning position. So we had just tried run the code by considering the same example that we have considered within the code. We had got the same output, right? So here the output that we are getting is absolutely correct. Whatever the output that we are getting is absolutely correct. Yep. So, yep, we have got the desired output and we are left with only one thing, nothing but discussing the complexities for the code that we have written. Yep, let's do that one quickly. Just give me a second here. Yeah, let's do that one quickly. 1 second. Yeah. So here, what would be the time complexity? The time complexity would lead to big of n. So why the time complexity here is big of n? Because each state is computed exactly once, and we are going with the constant transitions. Yep. So each state is computed exactly once, and we are going with the this one constant transitions. So overall time complexity would lead to big of n. So what would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would lead to big of n as well due to the DP array storage. Yep, so we are making use of the DP array, right? Or we are going with the DP basically. So overall space complexity would lead to big of n as well. So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we have written would lead to big of n and big of n respectively. So we are done with the complexities part and we are done with the Grundy numbers algorithm. Yep, next. So this is going to be the last algorithm in this playlist, and this is going to be the last algorithm in the 150 algorithms playlist. So this is the 149th algorithm that we have discussed, and the next algorithm is going to be the last algorithm, nothing but 150th algorithm. That is nothing but Sprague-Grundy theorem. So we have discussed the Grundy numbers, right? So this is based on uh, this one Sprague-Grundy theorem itself. So we will be discussing the Sprague-Grundy theorem algorithm. Yep. Next. So again, that's gonna be the last algorithm in this particular playlist. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.